Jumbo, beautiful people, and welcome to Espresso Talk Today. I'm your host, Alma Robin, and this is a special episode for Black History Month. Today, we're diving into a radical and empowering concept. Wait for it. Discovering Black joy in Black history. So let's shake off the dust of the forgotten and overlooked history and reclaim our narrative and our joy. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's show. But before we dive in, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're feeling this show, and I hope you are, share it with your fam, your crew, your circle, everyone in your community. Now grab that espresso or tea. Tea drinkers are welcome here too. And close the door behind you. We're going to get deep and we're going to get real. And I hope that y'all are ready for this. Akwaba, welcome, my dear brothers and sisters and beloved gender-neutral and gender-non-conforming folks, to the Espresso Talk Today podcast show. In this special Black History Month episode, and I don't know why I keep saying that because this is really for every day, we're diving deep into a topic that's very close to our hearts: joy in Black history. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Joy, Black history, in the same sentence? Is that a thing? Well, yes, it is. Stick with me. I really used to think that Black history was depressing, that it was only full of terrible stories about pain and suffering and injustice. And whenever I would hear about it, I'd feel so victimized and, it was so disempowering. But guess what? I was wrong. Black history is full of stories about triumph and resilience and joy and empowerment and upliftment. And this Black History Month, I am seeing the joy in Black history. And nobody's going to steal my joy. Today, we acknowledge that joy, that kind that's defiant and resilient and absolutely empowering. So let's journey through our past and find the joy that's always been there and carry it with us today and every day. The skepticism about finding joy in Black history often stems from a very narrow focus on its most painful aspects. While it's really important, and I admit that, to acknowledge and learn from those experiences, it's equally important to celebrate the victories, both large and small, that have marked our journey. Our history is filled with stories of triumph over adversity, from the abolition of slavery to the civil rights victories and even beyond, to the present day achievements in politics and science and arts and culture, in so many, basically every discipline. These milestones are not just historical footnotes. They're sources of incredible pride and joy. And I'm using pride in every sense. Reminders of what we can achieve and what we have achieved against all odds. I'm going to start with resilience. That's one of my favorite things. Okay, because I'm going to admit that, yes, we have been through a lot of stuff. And yet we're still here. Most of us, more of us, should be here. Many, many more. And I'm angry, disgusted, and sad that more of us are not here. And I hope that they're resting in perfect peace. But I'm here. You're here. And that means something. And that gives us opportunities. Our history is filled with incredible moments of strength and triumph over adversity. From the Underground Railroad's secret journeys to freedom, to the sit-ins and marches of the civil rights movements, and to those brave people who fought and are still fighting for a better world for all of us. Our ancestors showed an extraordinary capacity for hope and happiness even in the hardest times. And this resilience, that really is a form of joy. For me, it is. It's a declaration that despite everything, things that we never should have had to go through, no one should ever have to go through, our spirit remains unbroken. But not just that, it's fulfilled, it's even stronger. And we are still here. And since we are here, we are powerful. They can't destroy our memories. They can't destroy the memories of the courageous freedom of our ancestors. They are with us. Nobody's going to steal my joy. And what about the great things that we created and our victories? We've made contributions. Oh, yeah, that's true. But we have also been creators. We've always been creators. We still are creators. Black inventors and scientists and artists and writers and leaders have shaped this world we live in today. In fact, they envisioned, and we still envision, a better world than the one that we have today. But racism and white supremacy had a different vision, one that excluded and inferiorized us and superiorized them. But we still created and we're still creating. And we're honoring and remembering our history as it continues to empower us to create that revolution, to build a better world, to build the world that we all deserve based on justice and love and equality. And they encourage us, our ancestors encourage us to change, dismantle, and even destroy the white supremacist world order. Nobody's going to steal my joy. Everyday resistance and joy do go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Our joy itself is an act of defiance against a system designed to suppress it. It's in the laughter shared at family gatherings. Oh, family gatherings. It's in the pride in our cultural traditions and in the simple acts of kindness and solidarity in our communities. It's in our resistance to violence against Black bodies. It's in our building Black businesses, supporting Black artists, teachers, and writers, and honoring our ancestors. Our joy can be found in learning our true history. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history, wrote about our miseducation. We've been miseducated to think that Black people created and contributed nothing. We have been miseducated to believe that the Black experience is only about suffering and pain and disempowerment and victimization. We've been miseducated to believe that only white people have earned the right to feel joy. We've been miseducated to think that Black people have no right to feel joy or happiness, that that's not our legacy. But when we learn and understand our history, when we've been re-educated to know the greatness and power of Blackness, we know that joy is our birthright and our legacy, and it's one of our powers against the white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal system that's working to diminish us. Our acceptance of this joy truth is a slap in the face to white supremacy, and it's an upliftment and empowerment of Black people everywhere. This joy is resilient. It's our way of saying we are here, we are strong, we are joyful. And nobody's going to steal our joy. On that, let's take our first short breather break. This gives us a chance to breathe for a minute. When things get intense, I like to breathe, but it's always just a good thing to remember to breathe. I hope that breathing is good for you too. I will see you in a minute, and you all know that I love this song. See you soon. Turn me up in the headphones. Yeah.
Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible.
Welcome back, courageous and joyful people. I hope that you had time to breathe. I did. Let's get back to it. At the heart of Black joy in history is the unwavering strength of family and community. Yet the Black family has always been under attack. During slavery, Black families were deliberately separated and divided, sometimes even killed. White enslavers denied the Black family as a whole and degraded its family members. Following enslavement, laws and societal policies were passed that attacked and undermined the Black family as a unit. White Western society has always felt threatened by the Black family and always attacked and diminished it. Yet, even with all of these attacks, the Black family has remained a source of support, love, and resilience. Our ancestors created robust networks of care, education, and mutual aid, often in the most difficult and sometimes violent circumstances. And this included the Black family at its foundation. The Black family cared for the children and the elderly. We had multi-generational homes where everyone was supported and respected. And these bonds have been crucial in preserving our culture, our stories, and our identities. The joy found in Black families, as well as communal gatherings, traditions, and celebrations, is a testament, really, to the enduring spirit and unity of the Black community. And nobody's going to steal our joy. Now, I hope y'all are ready for this. This is a little different. Sit back, have a sip. Hope the door is closed. We are making history right now. Every achievement, every act of kindness, every moment we stand up for what's right. We're adding joyful chapters to our story. Every victory, every mistake, every stance, every position is making history. Our joy is as much about celebrating the past as it is about inspiring our future. And so we're accepting joy as our birthright and legacy and making history today that shows this joy. So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you now, fam, how are you creating joy and history in your daily life? Something to think about, huh? So think about it and, send me a message. I'd love to hear and I'm going to respond. Because nobody is going to steal our joy. Let's take another breather break here. Give you a chance to think about how joy is in your life. So think, stretch, breathe, do push-ups, grab some coffee or tea, whatever speaks to your soul, fam. This is some deep stuff, and it's not always easy to deal with, and it's something that we may have forgotten. I'll see you in a minute.
Turn me up in the headphone. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible.
I'm back again, and so are you. So let's get right to it. I know I'm talking a lot about joy in history, in Black history. And I said that no, it's not depressing and all of that. And it isn't. But, I'm not going to deny that throughout our history, we have faced challenges that have seemed sometimes insurmountable. Some of the things we experienced were cruel and were violent. And yes, there's a lot of injustice, there's pain, and there's suffering. Yet, in every era, ever since we have been here, we have found ways to rise, resist, and most importantly, to find joy. From the spirituals sung by enslaved ancestors that carried messages of freedom, to the vibrant expressions of the civil rights movements, where songs, art, and humor became shields and spears against oppression. These weren't just acts of resistance, but also, well, those were important, but also profound affirmations of our humanity and our right to happiness. And, I'm just filled with joy from Afrofuturism that empowers us to see beyond the current anti-Black social order and to envision a new and revolutionary world order that transcends the current limitations and divisions based on race and gender and other fictions. And it shows that Black and Native and Indigenous peoples have always been at the forefront of revolutionary movements that uplift all the life on this planet. Nobody is going to steal our joy. In the midst of these struggles, we continue to create spaces of joy and celebration, whether it's through the music that keeps our spirits dancing and the art that reflects our deepest truths, or the humor that keeps us laughing in spite of it all. Our creativity is our resistance. It's our joy, and it's our liberation. And I don't want us to make it look like all these terrible things are happening and we're just, dancing and shucking and jiving through it, because that's not it at all. It goes so much deeper than that. And I know that sometimes history wants to paint us as just being people who dance while terrible things are happening. But we are much deeper than that. And we have to remember that in our history. And it's also not just in the big moments of resistance where we find our joy. It's really in the everyday, simple pleasures of life in our communities, like backyard barbecues. Remember those? Where the grill's hot, the music's loud, and the kids are playing tag in the yard. Oh, those were the days. Or Sunday dinner, where everyone's around the table sharing stories and passing down wisdom and just enjoying amazing, amazing food. And it's in the achievements that we do celebrate every day. And the graduation caps thrown in the air, the promotions earned, the new businesses opened. Each one is a testament to our resilience. And it's a beacon of joy in our communities. And of course, our joy is our resistance to white Western oppression. It's our resilience to return stronger from Western colonization and inferiorization. Our joy is in our solidarity with all oppressed peoples in the continued fight for self-determination. And our joy is knowing that the arc of the universe is long and bends towards justice and liberation for all oppressed people. So I return to that question. What brings you joy? So hit me up and share your story. Your joy is a part of our collective history. It's a piece of our shared future. How do we keep joy alive today? In the midst of these terrible challenges, how do we keep joy alive? Do we start with celebrations of our successes? No matter how big or small, we can do that. We can create and seek our spaces that affirm our worth and nurture our well-being. We can lean in on our community and find strength in our collective resilience and solace in our shared experiences. And we can embrace our cultural heritage. Let the rhythms of our ancestors' resilience inspire us to move forward. We're going to take one last breather break here. I know just things are really beginning to feel, joyful and uplifting here, but we are going to breathe. We can breathe in joy. And then we're going to wind it down. And I got some information I think you're going to want to know. And I hope that you all are ready for this. Jumbo, brave souls, and thanks for staying with me today. I hope I didn't spoil the surprise, but I'm going to continue on with this anyway. Well, actually, I don't think I have any big surprises for you right now, but I just want to remind you that Black history is full of joyful experiences, and it's really an expression of joy. Dr. Woodson knew this, and he knew that we were being miseducated into thinking we didn't contribute anything or create anything, and that for me, on a personal note, my history that I was taught was that I was simply descended from enslaved people who were almost kind of considered less than people, because I don't consider it to be any shame that my ancestors were enslaved. Frankly, I think the enslavers should be ashamed, but I'm not. For me, I'm still here, so that means they were still there, and they made it, and they passed on so many things to me that I cherish and that I get joy from. So our history was taught to us that all that we ever did was we were enslaved, and then we just simply took from America, and then they gave us our freedom, and then they give us handouts to help keep us afloat, because we can't do anything on our own. We know that is not true, and that is why so much of our history has been depressing and disempowering, because they took out the good stuff. They filtered that through the white supremacist patriarchal, filter, and left us with nothing. So let's try this Black History Month, and actually every month, to remember and appreciate our history, and to realize that the joy there is not just shucking and jiving. It's a real authentic, resilience, resistance, a building of community, of supporting our families, supporting our elderly, loving our children, loving ourselves, and uplifting ourselves, and building businesses, and everything that we did to maintain and support and uplift ourselves was something that benefited the entire country and actually the whole world. That to me is so joyful, and that's why I keep feeling, and I keep saying it, no one is going to steal my joy. And so as we move forward, let's remember that pursuing joy is not just an individual act. It's a collective endeavor. It's about creating a community and a world where joy is accessible to all. So let's carry our legacy of our ancestors, not just in remembering their struggles, but in embracing the joy they envisioned for us. And here's my challenge to you, fam. I'm challenging you all throughout this one. Let's remember and celebrate the joy in Black history, not just this month, but every single day. Dive into the stories of our past with an open heart. Share them with friends and family, and especially the younger generation. And let's honor the strength, love, and yes, the joy that's been our ancestors' greatest gift to us. And let's carry that joy forward, creating our history with every joyful step that we take, and in everything that we do, and in our victories and in our mistakes. It is all about life. I'm going to return to the beginning. Black history is not only depressing in a miseducated way. That is miseducation. That's the miseducated mindset, or the colonized mindset. And honestly, I am not judging. Not you, not me, or any Black or brown person. This is what we learned in the system. But I hope that you're seeing that Black history, and the Black history, is a powerful tool that can dismantle the white supremacist order. And that is, of course, why we're not taught our real history. I support Black History Month because it gets our non-Black allies learning our history. But we can learn and appreciate our history, and feel the joy in Black history every single day. It's ours, not theirs. And nobody's going to steal our joy. And now it's your turn. Okay, so tell me what Black joy means to you. Where have you found joy in our history? And it doesn't have to be in the political history or in the artistic history. It can be in your family history. Tell me. I would love to hear it, so please share your thoughts and stories using the hashtag #BlackJoy. And together we're going to keep this conversation going. And I'm going to ask you how we can work together for our collective joy. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I will buy the espresso or tea if that is your preference. Thank you for being part of Espresso Talk today. I look forward to continuing these important and uncommon conversations with you as we strive for liberation and joy for all oppressed peoples, not just for some, but for everyone. Espresso Talk today stands for the liberation and joy of Black and brown people. Espresso Talk today stands in solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine. Espresso Talk today stands in the truth that if one Black or brown person is oppressed, we all are oppressed. And if one Black or brown person is suffering, we all are suffering. And that liberation and joy are our birthright. So remember, my fellow warriors, know this deep in your soul. You are powerful. Our history is powerful, and together we are invincible. Asante Sana to all the Black liberation fighters and joy claimers, past and present, who hold the vision of a powerful Black present and future. Asante Sana, thank you to you for being in the building and showing the courage to talk about these issues. And if you want to keep talking about them or just reading about them, then you should definitely subscribe to my weekly Black Empowerment newsletter, The Nomo Beat. We discuss lots of different issues there. You can get your dose of Black empowerment every single week. It's never a dull moment, but there are lots of powerful, uplifting, and liberating moments. And you can subscribe at the Espresso Talk Today website, espressotalktoday.com, or on Instagram at Ama Robin L. That's Ama, A-M-A, _ Robin, _ the letter L. And join us on Instagram to discuss these issues, share our thoughts, and find an uplifting and safe space where you are valued and heard. Find us on Instagram at Ama Robin L. I'm Ama Robin for Espresso Talk Today. And remember, now more than ever, strength, soul, and reparations. Ashe, community.